like to thank you, one and all, for making it here this evening.
You're going to be so special.
Oh, I've got one or two other people I'd also like to thank.
Thank you, God! God, he's not on this list. Tonight is awards night on Bits. We'll be recognising 5 of the highest achievers in their craft.
We'll be getting all gushy and dewy-eyed over unsung classic Tenchu.
And you'll be getting a premiere screening of one of next year's strongest award ceremony candidates, Metal Gear Solid 2.
But first, the nominations, please, for the best driving game 2001!
Oh my God. 3, 2, 1, go!
Although we reported a couple of weeks back that our beloved Dreamcasts are being killed off, Sega are by no means forgetting about the twitching fingers of their hungry, loyal fans. Continuing the onslaught of quality arcade titles gracing the console comes the highly coveted Daytona USA 2001. And get this, when it reaches the UK, you'll also be able to race across the cyber superhighway. Sega attempted to port Daytona to the ill-fated Saturn, but in all honesty, this was a technical joke. Now, however, the game looks perfect, taking with it all the excesses of the arcade, bar the smell of fags and sweaty teenagers. Running at an impressively smooth 60 frames per second, there's no pop-up, and every detail of all the bold and beautiful surroundings is perfectly rendered. The 300+ km/h speeds are mind-boggling enough, but you can also opt to race with up to 40 cars on the same track. That's a lot of bumping and grinding. However, one thing to spread a slight wrinkle of concern across one's forehead is the controls of such a high-octane racer using just the wee sensitive analog stick on your joypad. You don't want to be subtle with a game like this, you want to be feeling the motion. I'm telling you, this baby won't be burning any serious rubber till you get yourself equipped with a proper steering wheel. One thing Daytona's renowned for is the competitive AI. When it comes to NASCAR-style pile-em-up racing, you can bet the little buggers will be hot on chrome ass. Wanker! The fact that you're never guaranteed to win a race is both challenging and frustrating depending on how you look at it. Either your fellow racers are extremely clever and slam into you at strategic moments, or they're blatantly unaware of how well you're driving and just make it tough to gain first place. Once arse is glued to couch and hands firmly gripped on said steering wheel, you should find Daytona blasting out, offending every orifice in perfect arcade style. Also releasing with online capabilities, this should really add something to this classic racer. Daytona USA 2001 is coming out for your Dreamcast next month. Come on! Yeah, baby! Next up, here's Emily and Alex with the latest gaming news.
The Japanese have all the luck. Not only do they get all the new games and all the new hardware way before us, they also get all the new peripherals, and this time it's the PS1.
Yes, well, we've only just recently got hold of that fancy LCD screen, making ours that much more portable. They're getting a mobile internet connection.
That's the essential lead linking the PS1 to the internet on the move, which launches in Japan later this month. And it will be using the #1 network Docomo's iMode system.
But that doesn't mean you're going to be able to surf the net with your console. No. You will, however, be able to access special online features, kind of like the stuff you get with your WAP.
And of course there'll be games aplenty, but that really depends on what the developers produce. As a bonus, the network will be able to sense what kind of information you're sending and charge accordingly. Data packets are cheaper than voice ones. Who says money doesn't talk?
Well, we're not going to get hold of this lead for a long, long time. However, we're getting iMode in September.
Hurrah. Speaking of new hardware, the Game Boy Advance is now a reality, from Tokyo to Kyoto.
The brand new handheld has a brain the size of a PlayStation, but it's a hell of a lot more easy to lug around than an LCD screen and a PS1. Shit. The Game Boy Advance is no longer a fantasy, a wayward dream of Nintendo junkies across the globe, but a gritty reality and yen in the pockets of Japanese businessmen.
And finally, we'd just like to say NAS!
Contrary to what we reported, the day we told you not to hold your breath for Conker's Bad Fur Day, the original bad boy squirrel was announced that he would in fact be arriving on these shores swearing and pissing all over the place.
Time now to get down to the serious business of finding out what's available to buy off the shop shelves this weekend.
Finally, Unreal Tournament has arrived on the PlayStation 2. With its deathmatch tournament ladder, mad environments and superior artificially intelligent bots, this game will keep even the most fragtastic fragophiles happy. Go kick some ass!
Fear Effect 2 features a good dose of pneumatic lesbian action. But of course, there's little that's gratuitous about this USP. No, there's nothing titillating about seeing pert heroines Hannah and Rain getting close in their underwear, flirting with men and being ravished by sex monsters. Not a male fantasy in sight.
I like kitties. Come play with me, kitty kitty.
Evergrace has all the hats, bags and shoes you could ever want. As you follow the separate adventures of Charlene and Darius, you can also learn to put together the best ensemble for defeating smelly-breathed enemies.
If you're the kind of punter whose car has spoilers, alloys, sunroof, dice and a nodding dog, Armored Core 2 is the game for you. You can customise your own mech with 200 new characteristics, new equipment and new armaments until it can barely stand, never mind go to war. Out now for PlayStation 2.
So, you just going to give up or what?
More Mech Warriors with Zone of the Ender's humongous future world. It's the classic boy meets massive robot story, and a beautiful beast of a game. Get it for your PS2 now!
Or to destroy them.
Have you ever heard of a legendary ninja? Apart from the green and mutant kind? Well, back in 1998 a game came out that allowed you to fly from the rooftops and kill silently. The game was Tenchu, Stealth Assassins. But this was also the year that Metal Gear Solid launched itself onto our PlayStation soft drives. Everyone went ballistic over it, calling it the first ever sneak 'em up. But in fact, another game had picked it to the post, arriving on the scene as stealthily as the characters it portrayed. This game was Tenchu. Forget about night vision goggles, ammo and rations that pop up wantonly, unrealistic cardboard boxes and long-range weapons. These ninjas make killing an art form with only basic extras, carefully selected at the start of each mission. This game takes true dedication to master. A young, button-mashing upstart cannot hope to just pick up the controls and conquer it. No, they must first learn the Zen of Tenchu. And that is sadly getting to grips with the clunky controls. The analog sticks aren't supported, but given time, some finger flexing exercises and a lot of patience, and you too will soon be grappling from the rooftops and dropping down to silently slit your victim's throat. Achieve your mission objective unseen in true ninja style, and you will be awarded the accolade of Grand Master Ninja. The young upstart, on the other hand, will only be awarded the title of thug that they deserve. Okay, so the graphics aren't as slick as its rivals, but the gameplay is just as gripping. Number 3 is already in the pipeline, and it's due out on the PlayStation 2, so it might give even old Snake Eye himself a run for his money. Here's hoping anyway.
A couple of weeks ago, we asked you to come up with the origin of a particular species.
Of our species, to be exact.
Yes, the competition question's intellectual theme was evolution.
And these are the responses you clever people came up with.
Lord Icon reckoned that Booth has to be related to the little girl with the hammer on the Xbox.
Ah, that'll be Malice then.
He also says that Alex owes her flying fist to Blaze from Streets of Rage because she kicks ass better than Lara Croft herself.
And Jesus thinks she looks like Bob, the angelic bloke from Messiah.
Fuck you!
And lastly, but certainly not leastly,
No, because this is the winner.
a perfectly penned evolutionary tale from Flesh Wound.
Dear Bits, Booth was not so much evolved from a computer game's character as created in much the same way as that Borg Queen woman from Star Trek. Her familiar face was welded onto the body of a chick from Streets of Rage and fitted with a ROG, a random outfit and hairstyle generator. La la la. It was then simply a matter of cutting off its head and connecting its SCSI optical, MIDI and coronary ports to the corresponding ports on the body of the chick from Streets of Rage.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Yes. Thank you, Flesh Wound, feeling very protective over my head now. That Dreamcast is on its way to Yao.
And if you want to enter any of our competitions, then you can do so at our website, www.forlater.com/bits.
But before you pop off for your cup of char and your chucky bicky, here's some words of resentment and anger from Austin and his mate Jed.
Take it away, boys.
First game up for review tonight is Fight Club. The FMV on this game is actually pretty good. As you can see, old Eddie Norton here kicks his ass as if his career depended on it. The only problem is, look at the actual gameplay. Shocking.
The only good thing about this game, of course, is the awfully excellent cutscenes, as you see here, featuring Brad Pitt. Fight Club is in the cheap shop shelves now.
And after the break, Metal Gear Solid 2.
Is that FMV?
Nope, that's gameplay.
Welcome back to Bits.
Coming up, Alex takes a swing at the latest golf sim.
Booth gives you the runaround with her history of platform games.
And we give out the awards for the very best in gaming entertainment in our top 5.
But first, here's Emily taking a stealthy stroll with Hideo Kojima's Metal Gear Solid 2 with John Murphy from Konami.
Metal Gear Solid, debatably the best game of 1999. A seminal game that introduced the PlayStation masses to stealth, storyline and the undeniable greatness of its director Hideo Kojima. At long last we've got a glimpse of the sequel. I was joined by John Murphy from Konami to talk about Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. So you've got Solid Snake, who is now on this ship, which has got a Metal Gear tank on it. He's part of philanthropy.
Yeah, it's actually got Metal Gear Ray on it, which is designed to actually wipe out the existing Metal Gears.
Right.
And you turn up because there's been reports that that a terrorist group is going to get involved in trying to steal it.
As you'd expect, it's not just the graphics that have been improved. Snake has a number of new moves. He can jump, throw guards overboard and hang off ledges for a limited amount of time, to name just a few. But for that truly immersive feeling, Kojima has taken full advantage of the analog buttons, meaning you have to be super sensitive with your touch if you don't want to alert the guards. And they're now substantially more intelligent, working in squads when alerted, so you have to be extra careful about leaving trackable footprints or letting guards see your shadow. With this level of detail, will it be any longer than the original game, though? One of the big complaints about the first Metal Gear Solid is that it was very short. Is that going to be the same problem with this one?
I wouldn't be surprised if Metal Gear Solid 2 is the same kind of length as before. The reason it's only, if you say only, 12 to 15 whatever hours, the reason is that if you go into each area and look around, it's just amazingly creative. So if it goes on and on, it loses its impact, it loses its punch. With Kojima, because he's so interested in films, you'll find that in his games there are always references to films. In this game you've got loads of references to The Matrix. You can see it's bullet time, I think it's called, where the bullet, as it shoots through the air, it parts the wave particles.
Is there going to be a Metal Gear Solid 3?
In the foreseeable future, I would doubt it. Maybe in 5-10 years' time, who knows? But I know that Mr. Kojima wants to move on to a new project next. He spent a lot of time on Metal Gear, and he wants to, get back to making different kind of games.
So there you have it, the lowdown on possibly the last ever Metal Gear Solid. The end of an era or the start of interactive films? Either way, we'll have to sit tight until it launches at the end of the year. If you can't wait though, you'll have to buy Zone of the Enders to get the demo, which was also produced by Hideo Kojima.
Now Boof takes a look at the history of platform gaming.
The platform game. So simple, so suited to 8-bit gaming. But where did it all begin and how's it going to end? Although there are many favourable classics out there, Manic Miner and Chuck Yoke are still lovingly emulated to this day. When it comes to the first kid on the block, it's been Mario all the way. This little pawn-tash sporting fella was first seen in Donkey Kong. Hitting the arcades in 1981, it was an instant hit. With just 4 different screens to complete, this was simplicity in its purest form. Help Mario move up the screen to save Princess Pauline from the Donkey Kong. But that ain't no donkey, that's an ape! Donkey means crazy in Japanese. Kong is ape, so, well, there you have it. You save the princess from that crazy ape. By 1985, the technology is still young, but Mario moves in on the home market for the first time with Super Mario Bros. On the Nintendo Entertainment System in all its 8-bit glory. You've still got to save the princess, now named Peach, but this time there are 8 worlds you can explore and many secrets to open. No longer restrained to solely moving up the 2D screen, Super Mario Bros. Was the first to introduce side-scrolling. Sonic the Hedgehog first appeared on Sega's 16-bit Mega Drive in 1991 to compete with Nintendo's Mario. The real innovation here was its backwards scrolling gameplay. No longer was the game just A to B style humping and jumping. The next evolutionary leap didn't take place until 1996, when the 2D platformer made it to full, fat, creamy 3D. Super Mario 64 leapt chasms and is still thought of as Nintendo's flagship title, joining the party on the N64, the most powerful console at the time. The first character to take his 2D roots to 3D in true platform style was old school Mario. This game left many jaws on many floors. With the possibilities of full 3D exploration came a blurring of the term platform gaming. Complex action blended with more evolved storylines and a more rounded lead character was born. It's Miss Lara Croft, first seen bouncing about on Sega's Saturn. Tomb Raider, also released in 1996, was a slightly more grown-up platformer with more emphasis on character. Set in epic locations with a nod and a wink to Indiana Jones, the game is certainly cinematic. So what now for the ever-evolving genre? With next-generation consoles pushing polygons to places they've never been before, let's take a silent gander at the gorgeous Malice, the first foreseeable platformer on the Xbox. And you can see more of Malice in a couple of weeks.
But first, our top 5 doled out some very special awards for excellence in the field of computer games. Year 2000.
The award for Best Special Effects in Video Games goes to the PlayStation 2's Fantavision. Oh, wow! Oh, wow!
The award for Best Set Design goes to Jet Set Radio.
It's a fix!
Please.
No! Jet Set Radio wins for excellence in futuristic urban design. It pioneered graffiti-style cell shading and the novel use of turntables in space.
The winner in the category of Best Costume is Final Fantasy VIII. Coming in at a close second is Phantasy Star Online, with the ability to mix and match your starting guy's pret-a-porter style. But this sure winner will have to wait till next year to scoop the booty.
Fancy Star Online.
As yet an unrecognized talent in the video games industry, we feel that sometimes a star is only as big as his hair. And with an attitude and a punch to match, the award for Badass Mother of all hairdos goes to Afro Thunder in Ready to Rumble 2.
On a more serious note, we feel that the best screenplay has to go to Deus Ex for reminding us that the future is bleak, dealing with issues of conspiracy, biological warfare and nanotechnological enhancement. Evil, bleak. Thank you.
And And now, grab your balls, or someone else's, because it's time to swing with Tiger Woods. Wah!
In a world full of choices, sometimes it's hard to decide. I mean, if they're all thrusting themselves at you with forceful abandon, who do you choose to sidle up with on a Saturday night? What turns you on? And more importantly, whose club do you grab?
Hello. What are you into, S&M, B&D?
PGA, darling, and I've only got eyes for one man's trousers. Ooh, he's a tiger. Yes, the little rich man is putting onto our greens with Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2001. Welcome to a dimpled ball revolution for the leagues of stone students across Britain who belong to Golfers Anonymous but are too afraid to wear the plaid pants. Please give a round of polite applause to the science of swing. After years of golfing simulations asking for precarious tapping on their easy-to-please X buttons, EA have finally given some serious thought to their down and their upswings. Yes, by providing us with touch-sensitive knobs, they beg to ask the question, what can you do with your thumbs? And of course, if you've got all the right moves, you'll get a hole-in-one. Pay attention now, boys. By gently pulling the analog stick back in its holder to the point where you feel a tug of resistance, watch for signs of climax on the TV screen's bottom left corner. When the bar reaches its pinnacle, slide your thumb forward and watch your ball fly. All of this fiddling is accompanied by a soundtrack of looped birds and repetitive civilized cheers. Peter Lorre makes a post-mortem appearance to commentate.
This is for birdie. Find that hole.
And you can smell the sea air and see the Silicon Mountains of Los Angeles from the Pebble Beach, Spyglass, and Poppy Hills courses on the preview. No, Tiger Woods golf doesn't make you want to play the game. It makes you want to be there. The animations are smooth, the fairway is green, and one hole takes care of your child's entire Ivy League college education. But it just doesn't have as much going on as other games of its type. It's not as much fun. It looks nice, but a little swinging does not a good golf game make. Tiger Woods is arriving in the shop shelves next month.
Oh, it's competition time.
And tonight you can win a PlayStation LMA Manager 2001 bundle!
Just line up 13 of your closest friends against a wall, swear and kick and punch at them a bit, and see if they can come up with a goal-scoring answer.
It's 11, Alex. 11. Booth has the real question.
Weapons pickups. You've got pistols, rifles, grenades, and bombs. But what if computer games characters could light their own farts? What we want you to do is tell us which character would be the deadliest at lighting his or own farts and why, Emily.
Squeeze out your answers and send them to us via our website at www.4data.com/bits.
The foulest answer wins the booty.